When a major retailer changes the rules without a warning, it's never just about a policy, it's about power. And Target just made a move that speaks volumes. You ever get that weird feeling when you realize something's been taken away, but it's been done so quietly, so neatly that you almost question whether it was ever there to begin with. That's how this feels. Target has just quietly ended its long-standing price matching with competitors like Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, and some others. So, but there was no press release, there was no loud announcement, just gone. If you weren't paying attention, you'd have missed it. And that's the part that stings because this isn't just about saving a few dollars, it's about access. It's about fairness. It's about whether everyday people can still pay or still play smart with their money in a world that's getting more expensive by the minute. Now, let's unpack what's really going on here. Okay. Target used to have your back. At least it felt like it. If you found an item that was cheaper somewhere else, even weeks after buying it, they'd honor it. That was their promise. It made people feel safe, like, hey, I'm not getting played here. I'm not overpaying. I have options. But now, the safety net is gone. And yes, they're still offering price matches technically, but only against themselves. Meaning, if Target.com has a lower price than what you paid in store, they'll adjust it. But that's it. No more matching Amazon. No more checking Walmart's weekly ad. No more seeing something cheaper while standing in the aisle and getting it honored on the spot. No. They've tightened the circle. They've shrunk the rules, taking what used to be a competitive edge and turned it into a locked gate. And here's what that means, what that really means. You, the consumer, now have to do a whole lot more work to get less savings. You got to dig, you have to compare, hope the price you saw is still on the same platform, and hope the item is in stock. But even if you do find a cheaper price at another store, it no longer matters. And yet, everything else is getting more expensive. Groceries, household essentials, back to school supplies, diapers, laundry detergent. I mean, just the basic stuff. And inflation may be slowing down statistically, but you and I both know when you're the one at the checkout, it doesn't feel that way. It really doesn't. So, why would Target choose now to pull back on savings? Why would they make this change now? When people are pinching pennies, juggling bills, working side hustles just to make it all stretch. Why? That's the $1,000,000 question. Okay, so let's zoom out. Target isn't the only retailer changing course. A lot of companies are quietly scaling back customer perks, removing return windows, ending discounts, changing store hours. They're They're not even broadcasting these decisions. They're not running ads saying, hey, by the way, we're giving you less. They just hope you don't notice it. And if we do notice it, they're just hoping we'll shrug it off. But this isn't something we should shrug off, because when companies start trimming the edges of what used to be basic customer respect, it sets a dangerous tone. It says, we don't think you'll fight this. It says, we've already got your loyalty, so we can afford to chip at it. We can afford to chip away at it. And if you've ever worked retail or been on the other side of that register, you already know what it feels like when policies tighten and customers get frustrated. The workers take the heat, but they didn't write the rule book. And what about the families? Parents who relied on price matching to grab diapers at a discount. Seniors who are trying to stretch a fixed income. Students who are piecing together groceries with coupons and store apps. And all of them just lost a small but meaningful tool. I use price matching all the time, and that does matter. Target says they're focusing on simplifying the experience, but that's just corporate language. They claim it's about streamlining the process, reducing confusion, and making it easier for their team to serve customers. But what I hear, they're betting we won't push back, that we'll just adapt, keep spending, keep scanning our phones to for deals that longer matter. Let's be honest. This isn't just about Target. It's about what this trend reveals about the direction things are going. There was no big announcement from Target. Target didn't launch a press release. They didn't do a TV ad, an app alert, or a splashy email campaign saying, hey, customers, we're ending competitor price matching. Instead, they updated the fine print on the website, and that was it. That's a quiet rollback, not a bold statement. And yes, news coverage came after the change, but most of the articles, came after shoppers started noticing the change on their own. That's what makes it feel sneaky, like the news picked it up on response, not because Target told the world up front. The impact is subtle until it's not. It's the kind of shift that flies under the radar until we go to price match and realize you can. By then, most people have already overpaid and moved on. So yes, it's in the news now, but it's still quiet by design. And that language still, it works because it taps into the emotional truth. You weren't supposed to notice. And even if you did notice, you weren't supposed to care. But we do care. Okay? We care because it's another reminder that the rules keep changing, but they don't change in our favor. They're not being rewritten with the customer in mind. They're being trimmed for efficiency, for profits, for the corporate ease. It's not just about a coupon or a dollar or two. It's about what that dollar meant when you had 5 left to your name. It's about what it meant to look up a deal and feel empowered at the register. And yes, it's about dignity, about being able to shop without always feeling like you're being outplayed. So, if you've ever felt like the fine print keeps getting smaller, if you've noticed the prices go up but the perks go down, if you've wondered why loyalty doesn't seem to be rewarded anymore, you're not imagining it. This change from Target is just one example, but it's part of a bigger picture. And the more we notice, the more we speak up. The harder it becomes for these changes to stay quiet. So keep watching, keep asking questions, keep holding them to their promises, even the ones they quietly erased, because we remember and we're paying attention.